This is what I asked for, and this is what she delivered. This is a feeding masterpiece. This is what you get in jail. Like, don't wait on it tonight, I wanna get nasty. Don't wait on it tonight, I wanna get nasty. Why is it blurry? Okay, you've seen the side of the video. Your girl is back again with another story time. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even gotta say nothing because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on what? That's on what? That's on period. And Mary had a little lamb. As y'all can see by the title, your girl got scammed again, y'all. And I know y'all thinking like, Aisha, like not again. And y'all, I can't even believe this happened because I thought my scamming radar was on point. Like, I thought I wasn't gonna get scammed until like 2050. Like, you know, you let your guard down after a few years, but y'all, like, I got scammed again, and we're gonna go ahead and get into it. But before we get into it, y'all already know I have to give y'all a little backstory. But actually, before we get into the backstory, I have a few disclaimers. First disclaimer is your girl got her nails done, a little nail cam, and y'all, I'm so excited. Like, I can't wait. Like, y'all know how the girls be on Instagram and they be taking their pictures like, they stop, and they be like having their hands in the camera like, they like stop, like, that's gonna be me. Like, I can't wait. When y'all see the picture, y'all know what I'm talking about, because I'm gonna just be like, so anytime I see somebody do a story time about them being mistreated, especially a woman of color, I always see people in the comments. I know I'm gonna get this comment. Actually, somebody already commented on my community tab. I'm gonna post a comment right here. I'm not gonna read it, but basically she said something along the lines of, see, this is why I know how to do my own hair, and this is why women of color need to learn how to do their own hair, their own nails, da, da, da. It's just like, why anytime a woman of color is being mistreated and they express this on the internet or online, people are always commenting saying, oh, this is why you need to learn how to do your own hair, this is why you need to learn how to do your own Medicare, this is why you need to learn how to, like, why can't we just exist? Like, why can't we enjoy the luxuries of getting a service done without being mistreated? And anytime we do get a service done, why do we have to have people in the comment telling us, oh, this is why I know how to do my own manicure? Like, that's great if you know how to do your own manicure, but what if I want to just go to a salon and get my feet done and not be mistreated? Like, why do y'all have to why do y'all have to shame us for being scammed or mistreated? Like, I don't like that. And I know I'm gonna get that comment, somebody gonna be like, learn how to do your own nails, learn how to do your own hair. And it's like, baby, I do know how to do my own hair, but I just wanted to enjoy the luxury of sitting in a chair getting my hair done by a stylist. Like, I hate that. Like, even in my last story time, I told y'all that I think the mechanic took advantage of me. Somebody was in the comments, oh, this why black women need to know how to be mechanics or have a doctor. Like, no, like, why we have to be mechanics, doctors, and nurses? Like, why? Like, why? Like, why we have to have a doctor in our family? Like, y'all need to start holding people accountable for mistreating people while they're getting services, instead of saying, oh, you need to learn how to do it yourself. Like, I know how to do my own hair, but I just want to enjoy the luxuries of getting my hair done. So now that we got that out the way, although I know y'all, I already know I'm gonna get this comment. I'll save it. But y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. So like I said, y'all already know, I know how to do my own hair, but I just wanted to switch my style up. It's getting a little warmer outside, so I wanted to get my hair braided, y'all. And I'm new to Texas, so I don't really know any. I just found a nail tech in the area, and I really like her, but I'm still trying to find like a hairstylist in the area, because although I know how to do my own hair, every once in a while I do like getting my hair done, just, you know, just to sit in a chair, kick my feet up, and not have to worry about doing my hair. So I went on Instagram, and I think I searched hairstylists near me, braiders near me, and this particular page came up. And she did block me, y'all, but I do have the name of her page, and I'm gonna decide by the end of this story time if I want to expose her or not, because I don't like exposing people. These story times are for entertainment purposes only, but at the same time, I don't want nobody else to get scammed. So I'm gonna decide by the end of this story time. So y'all, I'm on Instagram. I think it's like I think it's a Friday. It's a Friday afternoon. And I'm like, it's Thursday, y'all. So Thursday afternoon, and I'm like, I want to get my hair braided. So I go on Instagram, and you know, I type in my search bar, and I'm just like, braiders near me. And a braider came up, and it was a braider that she was smaller. She only had like 200 or like 300 followers on Instagram. And y'all, I don't judge people by their following count, because on my business page, I only have 600. I have like 600 followers on my business page, but I'm still a professional business. I still ship my wigs out. People still receive their order, and I'm very professional. So I don't judge people based on the amount of followers they have. And it's a lot of hairstylists that have a K behind their following, and they're still very unprofessional, and you're still likely to get scammed. So I was not judging her by that. She had about, I think she had about 17 like stories of showing her work. Sorry, not stories. She had 17 highlights on her page, and she had about 50 posts of her doing people braids. So I'm like, okay, this is cute or whatever, you know, or whatever. So I looked at her rate. She said that she charged $80 for the braids. Let me go ahead and put the picture up of what I wanted, y'all. Y'all know, well, it's kind of going out of trend now, but earlier during this year, the girls were getting a little cute little in love, you know, the braids with the hearts. I ended up with a cross, but we gonna get there, y'all. So the girls was getting the cute little braids with the hearts or whatever, and I was just like, I want that. Like, I want to try something different. So I go to her Instagram. Let me pull up the receipts. I'm gonna put it right here on the screen. So let me see the first one. So I go on her Instagram, because she did not have a booking site on her Instagram. It basically said to DM her to set an appointment. So I DM'd her, and I'm like, hey boo, are you taking appointments for braids? I would like some straight back cornrows. And then she was like, yes ma'am, what are you looking to book? And I told her like ASAP, I'm looking to book immediately, because I wanted my hair done, y'all. So I basically sent her a screenshot of this right here. I told her this is what I wanted. And if, for anyone that don't know, these are considered like feed-in stitch braids with like a little design. I told her I wanted straight backs, and I want the little heart thingy on the side. So she's like, okay, I could do that or whatever. She tells me, we confirm a time. She says that you can come tomorrow at 12. And I'm like, perfect, that works. Like, I'm asking her, like, is there a type of braiding hair you use? Did you need me to bring any like jam or hair products? She tells me what type of hair to get. She sends me a picture of it. She tells me what type of hair products to get. I go get that hair, y'all. And oh yeah, it was one issue before. She tells me to cash up her the deposit. The deposit was $40, y'all. So I go to cash up her the deposit, but I noticed that the Cash App name, like, it's not working. So I sent her a screenshot, and I'm like, hey, is this correct? Because y'all know when you send money on Cash App, baby, you're not getting your money back if you send it to the wrong person. So I'm confirming with her. I'm like, hey, is this the correct Cash App? And she's like, yes, that's correct. But it was weird, y'all, because the name that she sent me, it wasn't correct, but she was telling me that it was correct. So we had a little discrepancy with that. Once we figured that out, I cashed up her. So my appointment was at 12 o'clock, y'all. At 11:54, I was already on my way, but I text her just to give her a little heads up. So I'm just like, hey, I'm on my way. And then when I get there, I got there like a minute before my appointment. I text her and I'm like, hey, I'm here. And y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I do not judge people by how they live, but this apartment complex was sketchy as hell. I am gonna put pictures in here, and I'm gonna let y'all know later why I took these pictures. So when I pulled up to the apartment complex, I don't really know what the hood is like in Texas, because like I said, I'm new here, so I don't want to say this was the hood. I don't know if this was a hood, but I know that this was a low-income apartment complex. So there was a lot of cars in this complex on bricks. There was like windows boarded up. There was like a lot of vacant apartments. Like the doors were like really dirty. It just looked like a ran down apartment complex. But at the same time, I'm just like, all right, sometimes if you want to get your hair done for the low, you gotta, you gotta go through some things. Sometimes you gotta get your hair done in the hood if you want the hood prices. So it was no biggie, y'all. So I pull up or whatever, I text her and I'm like, hey, I'm here. And she had already sent me her address with the apartment number. So I go ahead and go to that door number or whatever. And like I said, in the hood, you don't really knock on people's door. Like, you don't knock on doors. So I text her and I'm like, hey, I'm here or whatever. So I'm like waiting outside the door, y'all. And as I'm waiting outside the door, I've noticed that it's like a lot of noise inside this apartment. So I'm thinking like, yeah, this has to be it, whatever. I can hear people inside the apartment, but like I said, I didn't want to knock on the door. So, I'm at the door and I waited like 15 minutes. So I'm like, let me go ahead and call her, because I ain't want it to be no issue where it's a grace period and you talking about you didn't see me or I wasn't there. So I go ahead and call her through Instagram. I call her through Instagram, the audio call. I call her and I'm like, waiting for her to pick up or whatever. The call goes straight to the voicemail. So I'm like, all right. maybe it's my phone, like maybe it's me. So let me go ahead and call again. I'm gonna put the screenshots in here, y'all. And I do want to mention she did start unsending messages, but we gonna get there. So I call her again, y'all, and the second time I call her, she answered. She's like, hello. No, actually I'm lying. Let's back up, y'all. I call her the second time and the call rings a little bit and it sounds like somebody pick up. She's like, hello, and then it hangs up. So I'm like, okay, that's weird or whatever. So she texts me and she was just like, where are you exactly? And I'm telling her, I don't want to expose her apartment number, but as y'all can see in the screenshot, I tell her I'm at door So I tell her I find her door or whatever, and then she texts me back through the app and she was like, I just came through the gate. So I'm thinking, like, you set my appointment at 12. At this point, y'all, it's like 12:30 and you telling me you just came through your apartment gate? Give me your hand. Like, no ma'am, we're not doing that. But I'm outside her door. I'm looking like a chicken head, y'all. I had already took my hair out. I had already stretched my hair. Like, y'all, I look a mess. So I'm desperate. I really want my hair done. So I'm like, all right, she 30 minutes late, but I don't have no other person to do my hair. So, you know, fuck it. I'm gonna just deal with it or whatever. So I'm waiting or whatever. I got my bags of hair. Like I said, I'm outside her apartment and I'm just waiting. So I'm waiting because she said she just came through the gate. So I text her back and I'm like, okay, I'm at apartment which is the original apartment that she sent me. So y'all, I'm waiting there. I'm waiting. And then probably like another 15 minutes go by. Now it's probably like 12:45. Now, mind you, my appointment was at 12 o'clock. So I go ahead and call her. So I'm like calling her or whatever. And I'm like, hey, I'm here. Where you at? And I'm telling her I'm at apartment So then she tells me, no, you need to be at apartment So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna head over there now. So the apartment that she told me was like, for example, it was like building 5, and then she tells me to go to building 10, and it's just like, now I gotta get back in my car, drive on the other side of the apartment complex, and it's just like why? Like, now you got me playing hide go seek to find your apartment. But like I said, y'all, I really needed my hair done. So, you know, I go over there to the other building. I get to the door and I call her again. So I'm calling or whatever. I'm calling, no answer. So I'm like, all right, maybe it's the app messing up again. I'll call her again, y'all. This time she sends the call straight to the voicemail. So I'm like, all right, let me just wait. Like, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm being impatient. So, you know, I'm waiting or whatever. I'm waiting. And then, y'all, I get a little fed up. So I text her and I'm like, hello, like, where you at? So she texts me back in the app and she's like, I'm at apartment. So it was a different apartment from the original apartment that she had just told me that she was at like 3 minutes before when I picked up the phone. So she really got me playing hide go seek to find an apartment. So I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and go to this one last apartment. So she sends me to another location. So at this point, I already started getting like my armpit started getting like sweaty. My heart rate started increasing. So I'm like, Asia, you're not getting your hair done. She's like, she playing with you. You definitely not getting your hair done. But y'all, I'm still being optimistic because like I said, I look rough. Like, I need my hair done. So I go to this last apartment door, and this time I take a picture of her door. I text her and I'm like, I'm here, and I take a picture of her door and I sent her the picture of her door. But low-key, y'all, I'm kind of hoping that this was the wrong door. Like I'm at the apartment, but the way I'm gonna put the picture of the door that I sent her. I took pictures of her door. I took a picture of it and I sent it to her. I'm gonna post that picture in the chat. And this is how nasty and dirty the door looks. So I'm just kind of hoping, like, I hope this is not the right apartment, because like I had like a little bag of chips in my hair bag and I didn't have time to eat. So I'm thinking, like, I can't even eat in this. The way the door looked, I couldn't even eat inside her apartment. So I'm thinking, like, I hope this is not the door, y'all. So I'm waiting. No one comes to the door. So I end up calling her again. No answer. So now, y'all, at this point, it's 1 o'clock and my appointment was at 12 o'clock. So now you playing with me. So I text her and I'm like, I text her back and I'm like, hey, may I please have my deposit back, because it's 30 minutes past my appointment and you're not answering the phone. So I don't get any answer at all, y'all. So I'm still waiting though, because I'm thinking, like, maybe, you know, maybe eventually she gonna come outside. Like, I don't know, maybe she taking a shit, like she gonna come outside. So I'm waiting until eventually, y'all, it's about an hour past my appointment. I realized that she had blocked me or whatever. So she blocked me And the crazy thing was, when I left her apartment to go back to my car, the apartment that she sent me to was an abandoned apartment. I'm gonna show you how the windows look like. The windows were like busted out. It was boards all over the windows. What else? It was like, you could just tell it was a vacant apartment. So basically, she was BSing me the whole time. She sent me to a vacant apartment. I get in my car, and now at this point, I'm not no bitch, y'all, but one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cry. Like, when I'm mad, I'm going to cry. So y'all, I started crying or whatever, but then I sucked my tears up because she's not even worth it. So at this point, I'm mad, I'm frustrated or whatever. I call my best friend and I tell her I just got scammed. I try to go back on the Instagram, and I seen that she was unsending stuff, and right before I could call her again on the app, she blocks me. But I still have her Instagram, so that happens or whatever. So at this point, I'm infuriated, y'all. I really want my hair done. Like, I'm already, you know how it is when you take your cornrows out and you don't got no wig, and you really want your hair done. And I had a date that night, y'all. I really wanted my hair done. So I'm like, all right, we just gonna charge it to the game. It was just $40, Asia. Let's just charge it to the game. This not gonna ruin your day. So again, y'all, I go on Google and I Google hairstylist. No, I Google braiding shops near me, because I'm thinking, like, before we was gonna be in the ghetto, we was gonna be at a freaking trap house, but now it'll probably be better if I go to a shop. So I Google hair shops near me. Bam, African shop came up. And if y'all don't know, from where I'm from, when people say they get their hair done by the Africans do like really good work, like exceptional work. So I'm thinking, like, oh, I'm going to the Africans, I'm about to be right or whatever. I'm pretty sure these ladies can do hair better than her. Like, you know, I'm back in my vibe. Like, the whole situation with me getting scammed, I'm over it. I call the shop or whatever, and I'm like, hey, do y'all take walk-ins? Do y'all have any availability? And she's like, yeah, what do you want? So I tell her I want feed-in cornrows or whatever, and she's like, yeah, come in, we have an appointment right now. So y'all, I go to the shop, and the shop is like not too far from my house. The shop is like 15 minutes from my house. I'm sitting in the car and I'm eating my food or whatever, and I'm looking at like the door of the shop, and they have like all these pictures of different work that they did. And y'all, when I say the work looked good, the work looked good. I do not want to put the picture on here just simply because I don't want to expose this shop, but I'm putting the I'm basically letting y'all know the work on the door looked really, really good. I searched them on Instagram, I find them on Yelp. Everybody is just raving about this shop and saying how fast they do hair. I don't know if y'all know, but usually if you go to a African shop, they usually have about 3 or 4 people working on your head at once. If you get in like anything with like tribal braids or like anything that take hours to do. So I'm like, ooh, they finna have me in and out. So y'all, I go inside the shop, and there's 3 people getting their hair done. It's 2 ladies, and then there's a male getting his hair braided, and then there's like 8 women in the shop. So 3 women are working on one lady's hair. She's getting like tribal braids, and then 1 lady is working on the male hair, and then there's 4 other ladies working on the other girl hair. So I come in the shop or whatever. She's like, show me what you want. I pull out that same picture. I put the picture here. I'm like, this is what I want. And then she gives me a price. She's like, 80. So I'm like, okay, this is the same price the girl gave me. This is, oh, we didn't even give her a name. We're going to go ahead and call this hairstylist. We're going to call her Chlamydia. So Chlamydia is just like, all right, I'll charge you $80. But they did tell me up front, and they had signs all around the shop. She was like, we only take cash. So I'm like, all right, cool. So y'all, I leave, I go to the bank, I go get cash, I come back to the shop. I'm waiting in like this waiting area for like probably 10-15 minutes, and then she's like, Aisha, I'm ready for you. So I sit in the chair or whatever, and immediately I got like a bad vibe, like a dark cloud just came over me. Like, I knew instantly that I was gonna be fucked, y'all. And the way how I knew this was just simply how rough Chlamydia was treating my hair. Like, I had already pressed my hair out or whatever, but I guess I didn't do like a good enough job. So she took out a blow dryer and she started like blowing my hair out or whatever. But when she was doing it, it was like she was like yoking my hair. Like, she was like, my head was going like this when she was doing it. Like, so I'm just like, dang. So she's like roughing my hair, like moving my hair all over, roughing my hair. This is my first time in a African shop, so I'm just like, maybe this is just how they do hair. I don't know. Like, I never been to a African shop before, so I really didn't know what to expect. I just knew that my hair was gonna be laid. So I'm like, all right, it's okay. You gotta go through a little pain. Y'all know what they say. You know, beauty is pain. So I'm in the chair or whatever. she's like, let me see how would you like your hair again. So I show her this picture right here, y'all, and she takes a picture of the picture. Chlamydia takes a picture of my phone of the picture that I'm showing her. So I'm like, all right. So she starts like prepping my hair or whatever. She's like jamming my hair. So I'm thinking like, yeah, she a real stylist. Like, she really finna hook your girl up, because y'all, she really finna hook your girl up, because no, like, stylists, they don't prep your hair no more. She had already blow dried my hair, and she was starting to like prep, like do prep braids in my hair. So I'm like, oh bitch, I'm about to be a bad bitch when I get out the shop. So I'm sitting down or whatever, I'm on my phone or whatever, and I'm actually just watching YouTube videos. And once she gets done prepping my hair, it probably took her like 30 minutes to like prep my braids. She goes ahead and start the first braid. So as she's doing the first braid, I'm nosy, y'all. I'm one of the people that be in the chair that be using your phone as a reflection to try to see if they know what they're doing. So I'm all in the thing looking like this, and y'all, when I say I almost had a heart attack, I almost had a heart attack. The braid, it was like, the braid was really big and bulky. So immediately I start like, when, y'all, I'm a Taurus, so when something is wrong, I show my feelings on my face. So immediately I start like, you know, tooting my face up. So I'm like this in the chair. I'm like, I start like hyperventilating, y'all. I'm breathing hard. I'm just like in the chair or whatever. So she was like, you like it like this? And she puts the mirror in my face. Y'all know the old Aisha would have lied and said yes, but it's 2022, y'all. I'm more vocal about things when I don't like things. So she puts the mirror in my face, and I'm like, no ma'am, I don't like this. This is too big, and I want a feed-in, and it's supposed to be a stitch braid. So she's like, stitch, and I'm like, yes ma'am, it's a feed-in. When you do a feed-in, you don't, basically, y'all, I'm telling her how I want my hair done. So I kind of already was like, you the stylist, why am I telling you how I want my hair done? But I'm basically telling her, when you do a feed-in for the first couple, y'all know how you do a feed-in. You basically don't use any weave or any extension for like the first couple, I don't know, the first couple braids or so, like the first inch. So I'm explaining that to her, and I'm telling her like, oh no, the braid is too big, I want smaller braids. So she's like, no, your hair is too thick. And it's just like, bitch, you knew my hair was thick before I walked in the door. You should have told me that you couldn't do it before I walked in the door. So I'm just like, well, if you can't do it, let me know now. It's fine, I don't want it. So she's like, no, I could do it, but your hair is too thick. I'm gonna have to use less hair. So I'm like, whatever you have to do to get it the size of the picture, do that. Like, if you have to use less hair, do that. So she's like, okay, I got you. So, you know, I go back to like looking at my phone, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm a little nervous now, because it's just like, I just had to explain to you how to do a feed-in. Like the thing was, what I really didn't understand was that everybody else in the shop, because I told you, they was working on other people's hair in the shop. So I'm looking at everybody else's hair, and everybody else's braids are coming out nice. And it's just like, why the hell did y'all give me the struggle, bitch? Like, why did y'all give me her? Like, we gonna get there, y'all. So I'm in the chair or whatever. She starts doing the first braid over. This time she shows me the braid, and I'm like, no ma'am, the braid size is fine, but I want it to be thicker at the ends of the braid. So she's like, oh, okay. So she like she undoes the braid a little bit, and then she adds, like, she feeds in hair or whatever. So I feel it. I'm like, all right, this is my size or whatever. So now she continues to do like the rest of my braids, and at this point I'm chill, I'm relaxed. I'm like, okay, she fixed it or whatever. I'm chilling or whatever. I'm scrolling on my phone, but at the same time, y'all, my intuition is just telling me that I'm getting fucked up right now. Like, before I knew I was fucked, y'all, I text my best friend, and I'm like, bitch, they fucking me up or whatever. So she's like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? Don't pay them. So we going back and forth or whatever. We texting or whatever in the phone. And like I said, anytime let me back up, y'all. Anytime I was critiquing Chlamydia and telling her I didn't like something, Chlamydia telling her I didn't like something, all the other stylists, they would turn around and they would look me in my face like this. Like, they would be doing hair, but they would be like this. And then I'm just thinking like, what the hell? But I didn't know what they were saying. Like, anytime I would say critique her or try to tell her something, they would look at me in my face, and then they would speak in their native language, and I didn't know what they were saying, but they were like just braiding or whatever. So this time I'm already feeling like mad uncomfortable, because now I feel like I can't even critique the bitch because y'all like looking at me in my face like I'm crazy. So I'm continuing to text my best friend. I'm trying to like, this is like a coping mechanism I use. Anytime I'm going through something, y'all, I immediately text my best friend and I let her know like, this is going down, this is going down, this is going down, like this is happening or whatever. And she's like, Asia, you over exaggerating, it's probably not that bad. And at this point, y'all, I didn't really know how bad it was, because I didn't really like know, because I didn't look in the mirror. But I was kind of like trying to, anytime she would walk away, I was kind of like trying to like touch my hair to like make sure she was doing what she was doing. So y'all, she's like 4 braids in at this point, and I got like a glimpse of like the side of my hair. And y'all, when I say I tried so hard not to cry, like I was literally in the chair. I was in the chair and I was in fucking tears, y'all. But I kept like, I was like this. Like I kept sucking the tears back up, because I didn't want them to see, like I didn't want them to think I was a weak bitch, or I didn't want them to see that I was crying. So I'm in the chair and I'm just like, wow, like I'm texting myself like, wow, she really fucking me up or whatever. So all of this is going on, is she's continuing to braid my hair. She's continuing to braid my hair, y'all. She finally gets to where she does the heart. I see the heart and instantly I'm like, this is a cross. This is not a heart. Like, I don't like this or whatever. So she's like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'll go ahead and redo it for you. So she takes it out, y'all. She redoes it. This time around, she doesn't show me or anything. She just redoes it. I feel the heart, and I can tell that the heart is smaller. I'm just about to put the picture on what she gave me, y'all. This is basically how I left the shop. This is how I left the shop. This is what she gave me. So instantly, I asked her, I was like, can I just pay you 40? But I'm trying to like whisper it, y'all, because like I said, the other women in the shop, they were like in my mouth. They was like looking in my mouth. So I'm trying to like whisper it. So I'm like, can I just pay you 40? Because I'm not really satisfied with, like, can I pay you? I'm not satisfied. Can I pay you 40? But I'm really whispering it. So she's like, what? Huh? What? And I'm like, can I pay you 40? I'm not satisfied with my hair. I'll pay you for your time, but I'm not satisfied. So the other ladies, they look at her, they go speak it in their native language, and they're still braiding her hair or whatever. One of the other ladies stops doing the guy hair. She comes over and she's like, what's wrong with your hair? What's wrong with your hair? What's wrong with your hair? And she starts like touching the braids. So I'm explaining to her like, I don't like my hair. Like, I'm not happy with my hair. I really don't like my hair. So she's like, well, you should have told her that on the first braid. And I was like, I did tell her that on the first blade, and she fixed the first blade, and then she reverted back to giving me cornrows that go underneath the wig. I asked for stitch braids. Like, I asked for feed-in. These are not feed-in. These are muffin rolls. Like, what? So now me and the lady is going back and forth, but the lady is coming off very hostile. Like I said, there's like 8 women that work in this shop, and they're all looking at me, and their faces is like this, like their faces crunched up. I'm dead ass almost in freaking tears, y'all, and I'm just like, I don't like my hair. I will pay her for her time, but I don't like my hair. So they are being like very aggressive. She's like, no, basically she's like, no, she was speaking English and she was speaking her native language. From what I picked up on, she was like, no, this is bullshit. You don't have to tip me, but we told you the price was 80. If you couldn't afford it, you could have said it. And it's just like, hold on. It's not that I couldn't afford it. It's the fact that you didn't do what I told you to do. Like, this doesn't look nothing like that. Like, this look like, this is a cross. Like, this is bootleg. That's the original. Like, I'm a replica. This is the blueprint. Like, this is not right. So basically, y'all, I didn't really want to go back and forth with them, and I low-key felt like they probably were gonna jump on me in this shop. So I end up giving her the $80 in cash, and I know y'all gonna roast me in the comments, but I expected them to do a good job, because anytime people say they go to African braiders, they always do beautiful work. They always do a really good job. So I expected them to do a good job. So I had pulled out exactly $90. I was gonna give her a $10 tip. I had already had it like in my little, hold on, let me show y'all. This is my key. I already had it like in my little wallet thing. So I literally took the cash, y'all. I gave it the cash to her. And then as soon as I got in the car, I realized that I gave her $90 instead of the $80. And I left, y'all. And this is the story time on how I was scammed twice in one day. It was a double homicide. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And I know there's a lot of people that think they know how hair is. And I know it's going to be those people in the comment like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not. This is what I asked for. And this is what she delivered. This is a feed-in masterpiece. this is what you get in jail. Like, these are cornrows. Like, I feel like she was practicing with my hair and they gave me the struggle bitch. And everybody else in the shop, braids came out good. The girl in front of me, she was getting tribal braids. The guy that was beside me, he was getting like fishtail braids. They were feeding, they were nice. But this is how my hair came out. Like, I don't know, y'all. This is how she left me at the shop. She knew I was dissatisfied. I will never go back to that shop. It was actually crazy because later that day that I was going to go get the hair in the hair store, another lady came up to me and she was just like, oh, you getting braids? I do hair. I'm trying to build my clientele or whatever. And she gave me her Instagram and she had about 1,000 followers and her work was very nice. So next time I'm gonna try to go to someone else. But it's just like, it really just ruined my experience because I know what they say about going to people that do hair out of your house or just going to people that's like don't have a lot of clientele. But I always try to give smaller business like, you know, get them a chance because I'm a smaller business and I don't like to judge off, oh, how many followers you got, how many this, because you can have 3 followers but you could be more professional than a person that have 50K followers on Instagram. But it's just like, I don't know, y'all. I just can't win to lose. But yeah, this is the story time on how I got scammed. It was a double homicide, 2 times in one day. I am gonna put her Instagram name right here, so can y'all please report her. I'm not gonna give y'all the African shop just simply because I think they do beautiful work. I just feel like they gave me the struggle bitch. Like, the person that I sat in chair, she was learning and she should have told me that, like, this and this don't look anything alike. You just should have told me that and I just would have left and that would have been that. But she didn't tell me that, y'all. And yeah, that's pretty much the story time on how I was scammed in one day. And I think that's all I have to say, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching and peace. I'll see y'all in my next story time. Mwah.